Because I'm actually using the back of my camera and using my tablet to see comments. We'll see how this works. So bear with me. I'm waiting for it to load. Hey, there it goes. What's up? What's going on, guys? So as you can see, I'm not in my van. My van is directly behind you. I am in a shed that's being remodeled, I guess. Attached to a house that's also being remodeled. And this is the area, the driveway, I guess, that I was able to post up at when I got the dreaded knock on my van down in Long Beach. So I'm now in the Redondo Beach area and chilling at this place. It was one of you wonderful people who follow me that saw that I was in the area and offered me a driveway to post up in at one of their properties that's basically being remodeled and revamped or whatever. So that's where I am. I got Bow on power. He even gave me an AC to borrow to throw in my van because it's been kind of warm in the middle of a bit of a heat wave. So let me go ahead and get to the comments, which, like I said, I'm using the back of my phone right now, so I can't see them on the screen. I just see, the back of my phone, but I'm using my tablet to see comments. And I don't know if I'm seeing all of them, so bear with me. But I see Special Ed and I see the Roche. What's up, guys? How y'all doing? Let me know if you can hear me okay and see me okay, if everything's working right, because like I said, I can't see my screen right now. But I'm gonna roll what we in the biz, in the Slab City community, like to call a caterpillar. And that's when you use a little flour, which I've got a little bit left, not very much. I got some awesome, what is it? I forgot what it was. I was gonna get cookies, but then I saw the nugs in this and it's much better. And caterpillar is when you take the flour and you mix it with some dabs into one joint and caterpillar. That's what I'm gonna make. Oh, it looks fine, cool, Roche. Where's everyone at? What's up? I see there's 18 people in here. No likes right now so far, at least on my little screen right here. Like I said, I don't know if it's actually keeping up with everything. Hey, what's up, Lila? You're in Bend, Oregon. Lila, that's where I grew up. You're in the area that my high school's probably not that far away from you guys. Miss you, kiddo. By the way, Lila, that's Lila in the comments, you guys. She's one of the Slab kids out there, so much love to the Slab community, Slab fam. I'm a wreck? What do you mean I'm a wreck? I've just got a dirty shirt on, actually. I've been working on stuff in my van. Doing some yard work around here too. But I don't know if I look like a wreck. It is hot though. It's actually pretty warm here today. And I'm in the shade, but I'm not in the AC at the moment, which is where I like to spend my time. Chilling in Seattle. Brain stab. Chilling in Seattle. Hell yeah. I've been to Seattle area. I bummed around Snohomish. Bummed around the north of Seattle, Everett, Snohomish. There's the Mountain Loop Highway. I actually camped a lot of that area. It's beautiful out there. Busy, and it's quite tough to do van life north of Seattle until you get up to Marysville area, but yeah, it is pretty. What's up, Shanky? You heard Imperial County suspended heat emergency response to the slabs. Yeah, I don't think that's true. They did actually, the other day, the cooling center got locked up. They weren't letting people into the cooling center, but that's only because the cooling center is attached to the fire department, and all of the firemen were in the slabs handling heat casualties. So, yeah, I don't think that's true. What's up, George? What's up, Fartsack? Yeah, I got a temporary spot to kick it here in the city. I got the knock. I was staying out in Long Beach, as you guys know, and I got the knock, and the cops told me I had to go because my van was too tall. So got me a basically a backyard driveway to park into. Casualties. People died. Yes, people did die in slabs. There's been a few deaths in slabs from yeah, there's been a few deaths in slabs. Like I think 3 deaths, 2 or 3 deaths that I know of in slabs. There's been 3. Um, and that's unfortunately the real life. It's real life in slabs. There's a heat wave in California right now, so it hits the deserts hard, and it's tough in slabs. It's a deadly environment, just like northern Alaska is a deadly environment. Okay, I got the flour, and like I said, I'm making a caterpillar joint, which is when you mix your flour with you take dabs, like a whole bunch of them. Actually, it takes more than you should smoke in any lifetime, but you make like a worm out of it, a long worm, and then you put that into the paper. So that's what I'm gonna do, because I want to make this one stony. Yeah, Patriot Bill, rest in peace. He was one of the people that passed away in slabs. See me rolling it like Play-Doh? So it'll be as long as the joint is, more or less, that size. Put that down right now and get the joint ready with paper. Let's see. Really want to see the slabs when I get back. Let me see. I lost it. I really want to see the slabs when I get my truck done. No AC, no summer for me. Yeah, even with AC, it's pretty brutal there. Gene, hey, what's up, Zig? Just listening, smoking. It's freaking hot. Stay hydrated. I am not in slabs. I am not in that heat. It is hot where I'm at, though. It's been about 80, 90 degrees. So, it's warm. And it's kind of the whole West Coast right now. A lot of the nomadic community goes to Northern California, Southern Oregon in the summer, and they're hitting hotter temperatures than I am here in Southern California. So I've been thinking about going north soon, but it's like, oh man, it's at the same time, it's really, really hot up there. I don't know. What's the weather like in Bend right now? Is it comfortable? Is it really hot during the day? It does get pretty hot in Central Oregon. They have heat waves too. Yeah, crazy heat, man. Waterboy talked about me. That's cool. Waterboy's him and I see eye to eye. I don't know what he said, but I don't honestly watch. I don't watch a lot of slab channels, to be honest with you. Hopefully, it was all good stuff. Where am I? I am near Redondo Beach, Cote. Rain is coming to Flagstaff next week. Yeah, dude, it's like, what's it called? Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I'm tearing this joint open because I forgot to put the dabs in it. That was just instinct took over. Yeah, it's monsoon season up there in northern Arizona and northern New Mexico. Last year I got stuck up in it. Literally stuck up in the monsoon season out on my property. Where is this squat? I'm in, yeah, Redondo Beach, dude. Very dry this year. Man, I just must have gotten lucky last year, I guess. 90 during the day and 60 night, perfect in the shade for Bend, Oregon. Yep, that sounds about right. Gets cold quick there too. Don't you have a motorcycle? So fun fact, my motorcycle was stolen. So yeah, I do not. I have the title for it. And speaking of titles, since we're on this subject, I have the title for the motorcycle that was stolen, but I don't have the title for my pickup. I have been looking all over for it. I tore my van apart. I have no idea where the title for my truck is. I was actually digging it out so I could put it on the market because I just washed it and everything. And I was like, oh, I better get that title ready. Couldn't find it. I have torn my entire life apart, my van apart. I have no idea where the title of my truck is. That's the disaster that I am. I'm pretty stressed out about it actually because now I don't know how exactly to go about fixing the situation. Short of having to replace the title now, I guess. So that sucks. Yeah, that sucks a lot. Let's see. Big fire in Southern Oregon. That sucks too. Every year, man. Every year. I got people that live in Southern Oregon. I should reach out to them, make sure they're okay. It's a really common place for fires, though, unfortunately. Alright. Putting like 1/4 gram of dabs in this joint right now. And it's sticking to my fingers, so it's hard to get into there. There we go. Fingers are all gross. Let's see. Yeah, right now it seems to be the coast on the west. You gotta stay on the coast to stay cool, man. Wish I could stay, but I'm currently at work. Much love, Zig. Smoke some for me. I will, Cote. I will. Have fun at work, dude. Hey, Heath and Bobby. I appreciate what you sent, by the way. Very much. Yeah, I gotta file for a lost title, Jeannie, because I can't find it. I've looked everywhere. I know I had it not too long ago because I got pulled over and it was there and now it's not. So I don't know exactly what happened there. Maybe the only thing I can think of is I accidentally tossed it out because it was either where all my titles are in my important documents folder or it was in the truck. And that's the only two places it would have been. But I have looked every other place. I basically tore my entire life apart looking for that title, and I haven't. So yes, now I gotta file for a lost title before I can sell the truck. And that's very frustrating. Yeah, that's not a bad one. You know, it's really not. Everyone teases me that I don't roll good joints, but if I put my mind to it, if I actually care a little bit, I roll decent ones. I do need that title, Roche. Yeah, it sucks. What state? New Mexico. Is there still a lien on my truck? There was never a lien on my truck. No, I paid cash for it. Yeah, I'm in New Mexico. Yeah, it should be pretty simple. It just means longer. You know, like this truck is just the biggest anchor of my life. And what's one thing after another with it. By the way, what's up, Dave? Good to see you, man. It's a good looking truck, to be honest. Do you want to buy it? You want to buy the truck? What state are the plates? Yeah, it's titled in New Mexico. Or I'm sorry, it's titled in Nevada. What's up, Shed Gang? You like smoking spiffs. Well, this is not a spliff, this is a caterpillar. It's got flour and dabs in it. So, yeah, I'm trying to get fucked up. Yeah, I will, Dave. I guess I can try that. I mean, yeah. Hey, thanks, Matt. I appreciate that. You can actually, they just added this feature. I can heart donations now in super chats. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, Jim, I thought I did. I thought I did put it in a safe place. That's why I was really confused when I went to go dig it out of my. I got an important documents folder with my 214 and my college stuff, and I mean my medical documents and titles and everything, and it wasn't in there. So I started digging through the truck. The bill, the bill of sales in there, but the title wasn't there. So yeah, I'm definitely not stalling. Oregon DMV takes months through the mail, same day in person. Yeah, Oregon DMV is actually pretty freaking dope compared to other states. I've registered vehicles in several states now, and Oregon's always the easiest one. No sales tax. Like, doing it in California, paid $16K for that truck. So doing it in California would have meant I would have paid at least $1,000 in taxes, probably more, just to register it. You just looked over it, chill, and look again. Yeah, I've looked over it a couple times. We are in basically a shed, in the backyard of someone's house, and the shed and the house are both gutted. It's a squat, man. I'm in a squat. Yeah, Nevada's easy DMV. So when I get paid on the first, I'm gonna get a hold of them and figure out what I gotta do. 11 and it's gone tomorrow. Better off losing a little. You want to come by it for 11? Come on, let's do it. No state tax in North Carolina too. That's cool. Or Nevada. That's cool. Yeah, same with Oregon. No sales tax. Horn Gypsy, how are things? Things are all right, man. Just burning one down with you guys. In fact, and then I gotta do the van. And then I gotta register the van too, because it's still not registered. Not to me, anyways. And the van's gonna be easy because I have disabled veteran plates from Oregon. They're permanent plates, and I can put them on the back of the van. And yeah, I'll never have to register it again. It's $7 to transfer the plates from one vehicle to another, so that's all I have to pay. I'll have to get it retitled in Oregon, and then yeah, just $7. That's all I gotta do. Join me in an hour or so. Hell yeah. You're a goofball, Lila. Oh, you're going dirt track racing. That's dope, dude. You're in Michigan? You gonna be coming back around this way next winter, you think? Oh, it does, dude. It smells good. This is a good smelling doob. And I scraped a bunch of dabs out of here and put it into the doob. I haven't quite gotten to the dabs yet. I put them a little lower on the joint. But yeah, you can see the scrape I pulled out. So I don't have much flour left, and I'm wanting to extend my flour as much as I can. So, did I sell my truck? No, I haven't, Gypsy. I actually lost the title for the truck. I can't find it anywhere. I've dug through my van, my truck. I have 2 titles for 2 motorcycles that I don't even own anymore, I found. But not the title for my pickup. So I have 3 titles: the van, 2 motorcycles. One got stolen, one I gave away. I thought I gave him the title too, but apparently I didn't. And then and then yeah, the truck, I can't find it. So now I got to replace the title. Roche says, getting my disabled plates this week finally. That's cool, man. Cold at night, but hot in the day. Why isn't it showing that? That's weird. It would filter that. What's up, Roger? Good afternoon. How is yous? Tell me what you guys are smoking on. Let me look at something on my screen real quick. I gotta get out of the frame to see it. Oh, 22 likes. And 44 folks in here. Yeah, because this tablet that I'm using gives me different metrics, so I was just comparing. I'm using this for comments, but it says I have 1 like right now. So, I'm using the back camera on my phone this time. I usually use the front camera, but the back camera I figured might be a better picture because it's more higher quality camera. Oh yeah. Yeah, Matt, that's awesome. Magic Moon, 21%. I honestly forgot what they sold me because they usually label it, but this place doesn't. They actually, that's cool that they do it like this because they wait in front of you and then fill it up and stuff. But I forgot what it was. I know that I usually smoke cookies. Cookies is my strain. Anything cookies related, but this stuff just smelled better. I know that, so I know it's not cookies. I can tell you that much. Well, I'm really good. Smoking fried cart watermelon flavored THC. I kind of like those flavor ones sometimes, especially for the cartridges. For flour, like I wouldn't do that, but for the cartridges, you know, I like this. I like the flavor of flour quite a bit. Purple Haze. What's up, kitty? Roche says Mai Tai. 420 East Coast. Puff puff bitches. Gorilla Grease. It's 420 on the East Coast. It is 121, isn't it? I caught the East Coasters at 420. That's cool as hell. Central Valley is full of cookies. Smoking milk and cookies. Nice. Gelato 41, Lily Purple, Punch, Turp Sugar, and Bowl. Stuck on Lemon Kush for a while. I like those citrusy smokes, dude. Yeah, Girl Scout cookies. Those are the best. I like that citrusy stuff. Someone, yeah, was it Miscellaneous Filmmaker OG? Stuck on Lemon Kush. That Lemon Kush stuff, man. Anything citrusy, orange, lemon, dude, I'm all about it. Even the fruity ones, but typically they're sativas. I really like the terpenes in those, but I don't like the sativa that much. I'm like anxious enough in my regular everyday life. I don't need my cannabis to do that to me too. Yeah, I like that citrusy stuff quite a bit, which again, usually sativas. Man, it's been a rough month. Had my bank account robbed somehow. Someone emptied it, and Bank of America is still looking into it. It said it'd be 30 days or maybe a week or two. It's been a couple weeks, I think. I don't even know what the date is. They must not have much time left to tell me what's going on. I'll probably call them after the live stream. Wait, today's Saturday. I'll call them Monday. And but yeah, this is. And now I can't find the title for the truck, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. I can't necessarily. I just feel so like it's all happening at once, you know. But it's frustrating, very frustrating. Anything lemon is always good. Yeah, that's citrusy, man. That's limonene. That's the name of the terpene. It's called limonene. It's the same terpene that's in citrusy fruits and stuff. Limonene. That's what gives it its smell and its flavor. Um, so, yeah, that's my terpene I like. Get out of the haze and find the title. I've lost the title, Jim. I don't. yeah, it's gone. Like I haven't torn my entire life apart looking for it. I have emptied everything. It's gone. I have to get a new title. This is not a new development. This is 2 days ago I discovered this, and yeah, I don't know where else to look, man. Like I guess I could look in the carriage of the van, but I don't know. It's not. I don't have it. That's it, Jamie. No plans. It's Friday and you ain't got shit to do. Yeah, thanks, Jerry. I appreciate that. I know it'll get better. It's just life. I don't know exactly where I misplaced the title, but I did, and I'm gonna have to fix that. So it just means if I can get it done on the first and get it reordered and everything and get it squared away, then maybe I could leave the truck here because it'll take like a month and a half, 2 months for the title to show up. So maybe I could leave the truck here, head to Oregon, and have the rest of the summer, and then come back down here, recover the truck, and get the title, and then put it on the market. That might have to be what I do. We'll see. I'll get more information on the first. Once I get paid. But as it stands, there's not a whole lot I can do about the situation. Broken and in the city with 2 vehicles. So just the waiting game at this point. Is that your place in New Mexico? I actually do have people going through my house in New Mexico, my trailer there, to see if it's there, but they couldn't find it. They said they were going to look at a couple other spots today, but I'm pretty sure I didn't leave it in New Mexico. But that's a good question. Because I'm pretty sure I had it out. I almost sold my truck in Quartzsite. I had somebody that was going to buy it and backed out at the very last second. And I know I had the title then, so I haven't been back to New Mexico since. I don't know what happened. I have no idea where my title is. It's not, it's not there, so. Yeah, it's just me being real. Like I fucked up. Like I've goofed up, and I can't find the title. Must be. It is what it is. Drive safe, Dave. Drive safe, bro. The green over here is called Mets 100. Interesting. Mets 100. Some days you get the bear, and some days the bear gets you. Yeah. You can catch a Nevada DMV on the way to Oregon. If they can do it same day, yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. Right now it's so hot in Nevada, though. It's like the desert, and it's summertime. I wasn't planning on going through Nevada. Maybe I can do it through the mail or the internet somehow, but yeah, If I can do it in person, maybe I'll pull that off in Reno. I could swing through Reno on my way, cut over through Tahoe or something, but it is what it is. It just means I can't sell the truck this week. Like that. No one's gonna buy it without the title, so I think you should get you stoned for a couple of days and look again. Crystal says maybe stuck together with some other papers. Yeah, that's honestly like I went through my paperwork, couldn't find it, and so I went through just like a light skim over everything. I'm like, oh, where is it? And I found all the other titles, but then the second time I went through everything, it was very thorough. Maybe it is stuck between other papers or something. It should have been with the bill of sale and it was not, which is the most confusing part. But yeah, maybe it's stuck to some other papers. I'll look again. That's all I can do is keep looking. But I took the bed out. Like I took everything out of my van. I found a lot of stuff that I was missing, but not the title. Get unstoned. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Sorry, but that's the best thing for my mental health. Being stoned isn't going to prevent me from finding something. I don't know. That's not going to stop me from being able to like search through my shit. It's not that intoxicating to me. I don't know. I know it's intoxicating for a lot of people out there, and I know it's like, I know it is, but it's not as intoxicating to me as it is for a lot of people. That's just, my tolerance is pretty high. 395 in bed, Peace of Nevada. Oh, you're on 395. Yeah, I know where you're at. The highway. So I'm using my tablet for comments right now, and I didn't charge it. So it's at 13%. There's quite a delay, actually. Teacher, my dog ate my homework. Yeah, that's what I'll blame it on. I'll just blame it on Zag. Where is she? She was just in here. I can hear her. There she is. Hi, good girl. You want to say hi to everybody? There you are. It's Zag. You gonna steal the show? It's just a balance, stay medicated. Yeah, it does help me, you guys. Like without it, I don't sleep well. I get, very little sleep because I have nightmares, night terrors. I'd probably be less likely to find it, more likely to miss it if I was not sleeping very well. Hey, thanks, Kaylee. It's Katie. Is that what it says? Yeah, Katie. So I got a piece of rock that somebody wrapped at the bottom there, and then this is it was a coin from 1863 that British guy I know, it was a British coin, and it was a British guy I know that hand carved it into the Tree of Life. So out in Slabs, actually, like my second year out there. So yeah, the dude like put it in a little tiny clamp, a little vise, and then used a little hand drill and drilled a hole through the coin, and then used a tiny little hacksaw where he unhooked that part of the hacksaw, put it in the hole, and reattached it, and then sat there hand carved out this Tree of Life. It was really sweet. And I've had it ever since. He was this British SAS soldier, so we connected from our military experience. Trey says, I know a little what you're going through. I'm trying to sell my 21-year-old Dodge van. That's cool. I got an old Dodge van too, man. Well, I slid my van across Sierras on passenger side, no broken windows. It has deep scars. We all get our turn in the barrel. I like that. We all get our turn in the barrel. If you can't find it and sell your truck, chances are you won't be able to make it up here. The high desert this summer. 97 there yesterday. So I'm definitely coming up there. Because here's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna store the truck here in the LA basin, and then wait for because I'm gonna get the title, like I'm gonna get all this squared away on Monday or on the 1st when I get paid. So I'm gonna go down to the DMV and see what they can do for me, or I might See, I was gonna look in California, but the more I got to digging, the higher the taxes are registering this in California. Plus, they do back tax stuff, weird shit. So I might just have to do this over the phone when I get paid and figure it all out, which forms I have to fill out and everything. In any case, I'm gonna order everything, and then it'll take like 2 months for the title to show up. Like it said on every state's website, it said basically the same thing. It was gonna be 6 to 8 weeks. And then Oregon was backlogged like 3 months or something. So in any case, yeah, like I'm gonna do this and then store the truck here, and I'm leaving. Like I can't stay in the city for the summer. That is not me. This is not where I want to be. I've already lingered for so long because of this truck and me thinking, oh, I'm gonna be able to sell it. So At this point, like once I get the paperwork squared away, I'm gonna take off. I have a friend flying into Redmond on the 30th of July. I think it's August, the 30th of August. I'll have to double check on that. Might be September. In any case, I'm gonna be up there. So um, I just don't know exactly when. I would have been up there already. Hey, what's up, Jack? How you doing, dude? Hey, that's cool, Jim. I appreciate that. Some of that time, since I have a friend flying in, I'll be spending with them. I want to show them Central Oregon, and there's quite a bit to see. They're also another van lifer. Yeah, the summer will be over before you know it. It's already, I feel like it's already halfway done. Oh, you want one of those routers, dude? You want one of those? Because I did, so I don't know if you guys saw that, but I posted a video about how I get internet while I'm on the road. And since I already pay for a cell phone, I pay for my cell phone and they give me internet. Um, I don't pay for internet twice. I don't pay for internet on my phone and then go pay for like a hotspot thing or whatever. I did buy a router, and you could do this with most routers, but I bought a router and I programmed it in a way that my cell phone company doesn't know that my hotspot's on my phone. So when I turn on my hotspot, it runs all the information through another router, and there's a little bit of programming, technical stuff in there, but then I can turn on my hotspot on my phone and I can use unlimited, unthrottled, 5G hotspot. So that's how I get my internet. I did a little YouTube short about it. So if that's what if you want one of those, man, I can hook you up with one of those. I've hooked a couple of people up with those already. So Greg Hines, you're still in Cali? Yeah, me too. I only have a 10G hotspot. Oh, 1G. Are you trying to say 1G or 10G? Oh, you only have 10 gigs. Sorry, I'm an idiot. Yeah, 10 gigs on your hotspot, and then like a lot of them will be unlimited, but it'll be like you get 10 gigs unthrottled, and then after 10 gigs, we're gonna throttle you, so it'll be like super, super slow speeds. So yeah, I just bypass that because I want to use my hotspot, and it doesn't actually take anything from the company. You can't get charged with a crime or anything. You do violate your terms of services through whatever your provider is. So, I'm not going to tell you who my provider is. There's so many of them out there, and my phone isn't even in my name. So good luck with that, guys. If you're trying to turn me in, but the only cell phone company I know that it doesn't work with this method of doing this, it doesn't work with is I believe it's Sprint. Nope, I'm sorry. It's either Sprint or AT&T. One of the two. You can't do this method with. They have different ways of monitoring whether or not your hotspot's on. But that's how I get internet on the road. I just pay for my cell phone. And I've got a 5G phone, so it gives me 5G internet. And then my hotspot, I route everything through a second router, and it's kind of a going around your elbow to get to your hotspot, but it works, and that's the only way I know of to do this, unless you can root your phone. And most phones these days can't be rooted, and most people aren't even trying to root them anymore because the things that you would do with a rooted phone, you can do. Most people want to do with a rooted phone, you can do with a Android anyways. So they've taken a lot of those restrictions out. The reason people root their phone. So people aren't really trying to hack through phones as much anymore. There are still some phones you can root, like a Google phones, but yeah. Let's see. Damn, wish I had cell service, too rural, no towers. Yeah, that can be a problem for sure. And I don't know exactly. You're in NorCal. I don't know how well SpaceX works in your area. I know when you get around like more foresty areas, it doesn't work as well. Um, but you know, big nomad gather in September outside of La Pine. Yeah, that's Descend on Bend. I haven't been to that. I haven't been to Descend on Bend for a couple of reasons, but mainly because I don't want to pay to go to a van lifing event and camp in an area that I know where there's free camping down the road. Like I grew up in that area. I've lived in La Pine. I don't want to pay to camp in my backyard, so to speak. So, but I have thought about going to Descend on Bend a few times. It'd be cool if they had like one free day for Descend on Bend, the last day that anyone who hasn't paid can still show up, in their van and show off because, it's a lot of us don't have the money to spend on events like that. The unlimited on phone, but not your hotspot. Yeah, that's pretty common. It's cheaper to just have like 10 gigs on your hotspot, or even you could just, if you have this method, you could pay for 1 gig and then you'd have unlimited because it doesn't know that you're hotspotting. Remember the good old days of jailbreaking my Motorola Droid? Yeah. Yep. That was probably like Android 4 or 5. Cost too much. In fact, I don't do rally road Harleys. 30 years done that. I haven't ever been to rally either. Like I ride motorcycles too. I don't own one right now because I'm fucking poor. But man, I got like I twisted my neck, bro, and like what I would do for a massage right now. Anyways, yeah, I ride motorcycles, but I don't like riding. I don't like riding in groups. Like on a motorcycle, I don't like the group riding as much as I like riding by myself or maybe with one other person. But the big group riding isn't really my thing. They seem boisterous. They don't ride as safe. I don't feel as safe in a big group and even with the groups I've rode in who ride safe, but it's still, I don't know. I haven't had great experiences, I guess. Hate all politicians. Says, hang in there, it's rough. All I can hope for is a revolution, or for all rich people to take a sub. Keep your head up. Driving in Bend is like trying to find your way out of a maze in a cornfield. Jim, you and I both remember when Bend was not that hard to drive through. Do you remember when they built the parkway in Bend and they just cut the city in half with this monstrosity of a road that was elevated in some spots? They didn't have exits to the most like busiest areas in Bend. You couldn't even exit, so they clog up all these other areas, and it was silly. It's so silly the way they designed that thing. But I remember when they built it. I remember Bend before they built it and how easy it was to get across town. And then what that thing did, like the street that I lived on was cut in half by it, and then now it's east and a west of the same road, but it was like east side, not west side. I forgot what road that was on. It's right there by Grover's, which I don't even think it's called Grover's anymore. There's a Dollar Theater was across the street. God, I'm fucking old, man. So I have my shovel in garage. Health reasons, can't ride anymore. I miss it a lot. Can you ride a trike? I don't know what your health conditions are, bro, but if you could ride a trike, like, I don't know how your hands are, the vibrations, any of that stuff. But there is accessible ways to ride motorcycles for disabled people. I know they've done this, and I think that if you can figure out how to pull it off, just get back out there and do it. If you physically can, like if you mentally can, please don't just go take a big risk and do it. But if there's a way to make it safe and accessible to disabled folks, I think that if I can ride when I'm just too Maybe I won't be able to walk well, but if I can ride, that would be cool. I hope I'd still be able to do that. Do 4,000 mile solo trips usually or in small groups. I haven't ever done that far of a ride before, but I've rode from Oregon to Southern California. I don't know how many miles that was, but it was like a 16-hour. It wasn't 4,000. Hey, what's up, Chopra? Choppa, choppa, choppa. That's gonna be a good brooch. I do save them. I do save my brooches. See, yeah, I can't turn my head to this way. It hurts. Like what I would do for a bath. Oh, fucking old, man. You guys want to see Zag? What she's doing? See if I can flip this around. Boom. She's just chilling there. Rainy in South Florida. You're in South Florida? My mom lived in Homestead. Ex-patch holder can count the miles in events. There's a van. We're 300,000 in a saddle. You know, I've thought about traveling the way I travel on a motorcycle with a trailer. I've thought about that many times. I haven't simply because the weather is what stops me. The weather, you know, like be getting stuck in shitty weather would prevent me from riding. And then you gotta find a bridge to hang out underneath until the rain goes away or whatever. Like I like having a solid roof over my head. When I go to the VA clinic, we go on the back of the way to the Deschutes Market Road to 27th, really easy. Found out Thursday I have to have cataract. I think, you mean cardiac? Is that what you're trying to, or you have a cataract? Is that what this is? Because if you have a cataract, Jim, you should be smoking more weed. How's the puppy doing? She's amazing. Cataract had in both eyes. You know, like, I hate to say this about myself, but since I'm talking on about getting old, we have to have surgery on your eyes. Oh, that's so terrifying, dude. Oh, that freaks me out. I know that the technology's gotten really good and it's safe, but it still freaks me the fuck out. But on the topic of eyes, uh, I need glasses. Like my eyes are getting so bad. So bad. I need glasses. I have to accept it. Maybe I just need readers. I'm not sure, but um, my eyes are terrible. It's hard to read. But there's my setup right now with the awning out. We all have our issues, don't we? We sure do. We absolutely do. 5 years apart, wide awake. It's a freak show. Wide awake? Wait, hold on. You're doing live surgery awake? That's insane. Oh my god. No, that freaks me out, dude. Um I can't even think about what that would be like. My van's an 84. Laser surgery, not too bad. Yeah, I hope does the VA, like, at least it's an easy surgery. I have to admit, like, for the VA to be doing it too. I don't know how you're feeling about that. Maybe you have better experiences with them than I do. Bobby says I'm legally blind. I didn't know that. I didn't know that about either of you. Been riding since mini bikes, plenty of jet bike, one pan, dual, Toledo carbs, one shell. So the mini bike, dude, that's so funny you mentioned that. That was like when I was a little kid. I must have been like 8, 9 years old. I had a little mini bike. It was a '79 mini bike here in Southern California, and I remember I'd ride that thing all up and down my neighborhood. And it was like a closed off neighborhood. There was one way in and one way out. It was a village that they called it, and in El Dorado Hills. And I would ride it all over the place. All my other friends had been riding bicycles, and I'm like, me, 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 on this little, like, probably, 50cc mini bike. And I got pulled over on it one time. I remember I didn't have mirrors on it. It was just, frame and shit. And but I saw red and blue on the chrome on the handlebars, and so I was like, and I had a bicycle helmet on. I didn't have an actual helmet. And I pull over, and the cop pulls up to me, and he's like, "Do you have a license for that?" And I was like, "I'm 9," or whatever. I said, told him how old I was, and I'm like, "I'm 9." He's like, "You have to walk that home." I'm like, "Okay," and I waited for him to leave, and I fired it back up and rode it home. I'm not walking the fucking thing home. Anyways, yeah, that's one of my earliest memories. A tiny little mini bike. An Oregon address, qualify for free insurance, OHP. I have free insurance through the VA, but I can get free insurance in any state, actually. That's why you can't metal detect, because you're legally blind. I'll be damned. Yeah, I might need some readers, man. Like, I don't know how to go about getting glasses. I don't have any idea. I want to put the wrong glasses on and end up with a migraine, though. Isn't that what happens? You end up with a pounding headache. QA 5 Honda Slime Green, only Honda I ever owned. I owned a Honda Civic. I owned haven't had a Honda motorcycle though. Thinking about my 8-year-old crazy kart. It's on go kart that drifts. Oh, you're thinking about getting them a go kart. That's fun. That could be fun. I had a go kart when I was a kid, like a gas operated. My husband, disabled vet, has had every knee surgery and lung cancer surgery done out of the VA. VA paid 100%. They paid for my heart attacks. They paid 100% of both my heart surgeries. The only thing they didn't pay yet was me getting airlifted. The me getting airlifted from Taos to Santa Fe. They didn't pay for that. At my grandpa's Honda Trail 90 last year, registered, and a plate sticker 1972. Yeah, the plates on this one had a 70 something plate on it too. The sticker had 70s on it, so that's cool. Get $2.50 readers, start from there, Zig. Yeah, I guess so. Like, I don't know how to go. Was that $2.50 or is that 2.5 that you're trying to see? I don't know how this works. I don't know shit about glasses. I went to Walmart for mine. Doctor appointment was like $80. The glasses vary. Wish your husband the best, Carol. Oh wait, I bought a Rebel 250 for back of my van. Yeah, you know what? Like, a 250 is about the size I would carry on the back of my vehicle. That's like the perfect size. You can load it yourself. It's not very heavy. It'll go highway speeds just fine. Like, that's like the perfect size for van life. I would prefer something bigger, like a fucking 650 or an 800, but 250 for this lifestyle is awesome. But he didn't have it at the VA hospital. He doesn't really trust them either. Yeah, I understand that. My experience with the VA has not been great, not with my lifestyle. In order for me to really get the VA experience that a lot of other people get, or that, I'd have to find a good VA region, because it's separated by regions, and then I'd have to stay there. I wouldn't be able to have this lifestyle and have a very, consistent, good experience with the VA. 2.5. Is that like, okay, 2.5 times magnification, I guess? But you know what? I've got this stabilizer. Let's see what I can do here. Check this out. Yeah, there we go. It's actually on a stabilizer right now, so I feel like I'm in like a Middle Eastern like prison. Is that kind of what this resembles? Carver on the Harley sucks. Yeah, you gotta get a trailer for your bike, man. If you're needing cargo space. Sure didn't think about the region. Yeah, they're all separated by regions. So some of them are pretty good, and some of them are pretty bad. Like once upon a time, Phoenix VA system was probably the worst in the country, and now it's one of the best because it got funded. As much as I hate to say this because I'm not a fan of his, but when the Phoenix VA system got caught up on all their secret lists and stuff like that, Trump assured that they were funded properly. So they got a lot more funding to that area and better supervisors and more quality staff. And now it's one of the better VAs in the country. So you gotta give credit where it's due, you know, that he did fix that VA region. Shooting horseshoes, lightning, and burning weeds. Shooting horseshoes. Oh, Jesus, that took me too long to figure out. Shooting horseshoes, listening, and burning weed. Nice, man. Horseshoes is fun. Horseshoes is like redneck bowling, but in the dirt. And there's no pins. Have box and a flat trailer. Don't like pulling a trailer at all. You talking about on the bike? I don't mind pulling a trailer on a motorcycle. That doesn't bother me that much. Gives you more space. My aunt was a nurse at the VA for 40 years. Nice. You know, and she could have been a nurse and gotten paid a lot more at some regular private hospital, you know, and these days, unfortunately, the VA doesn't pay great, you know, so they don't have like real high quality staff, you know, beating down their doors to get there, whether it be their medical staff or their paperwork staff and afmin staff or security staff. They're all like kind of, I'm sorry, but these days is bottom of the barrel. Back in the day, after especially after Vietnam, when the VA started getting the majority of its funding, they had great staff. It was like very important that this launch for this new system happened right, and so especially all the hate that happened after Vietnam. So yeah, they had great staff back then, but as the cost of living has gone up, and the wages haven't followed, you know, these days, in my experience, it hasn't been, you know, they're overworked and they're understaffed and they're I wouldn't say underfunded, because to be honest with you, like the VA gets billions of dollars every year to do a subpar job, and it's not about getting more money; it's about doing more with less. But the government has no idea how to do that. You know, you can get the job done pretty successfully in pretty much any other hospital, but when it's a government-ran hospital, it's not. You're not going to be as successful. Sheryl Crow in Redmond. Is that what you said, Redmond? Yeah, 30K plus this weekend. Have I read anything good lately? So, yeah, I carry one book with me. Let's see if I can find it real quick with y'all, because I was just digging through everything looking for my titles, so I think I know exactly where it's at. Oh my god, my speakers are falling on me. Is that it? Yeah. Alright. Who recognizes it? Huh? Who knows it? Lord of the Flies. This is my favorite book, and I've read it so many times. Um, Great book, dude. Yeah, that's what I just got done reading again. All right, let's get out of here. It's hot. Let's get back in shape. Willie Nelson on Sunday. I heard Matt Rife was supposed to be coming to Bend too. I don't know if you guys know who that is. He's a comedian. He was at Les Schwab Amphitheater. Great book. Yeah, that's what's up. It is a good book. Just join the DAV Zig. They are number one in my book. I've heard DAV. I've heard good things about the DAV actually, Jim. The one thing I like about them is they're literally designed to be helping veterans. That's like their point. Whereas the VFW is a bar, and a bar that only serves veterans. Many of them with addiction issues. But we're gonna go ahead and feed them their addiction and then call it help. I don't know, man. DAV, I prefer their model of, serving veterans. A lot of them have hangout rooms that you can just go into and play video games or chill out in. Instead of they have community spaces with TVs and whatnot instead of a bar where you can go gamble at the machine and serve liquor to folks. And they do veteran events. I know they do, and I know they do good stuff too. But I don't know if serving booze and drugs to traumatized community that they're also trying to help with their trauma is very smart. Different times, I guess. But I've heard good things about the DAV, Disabled American Veterans. Maybe that is where I'll start. I don't know if they have any DAV here in LA, or where I would even do that at. To be honest with you, Imperial County just probably isn't going to be it. I don't know where I'm going to stay this coming winter. I don't think it's going to be in Slab City. I'll probably be going through Slabs. I'll say hi to them, see my people. But I need to go somewhere and kind of find somewhere to stay for about a year. And if I do it at the beginning of winter, that'll give me the longest amount of time to take care of my VA stuff than any other time of the year before summer hits. Unless I'm doing it somewhere cold, and then I would have to do it at the beginning of summer. But most of the places that get cold in the winter, they get cold, the summers are short. The amount of time you can actually van life before it's freezing at night is short. So, reading Black Elk bio. That's cool. I don't know that book. What's going on, Zach? I have heating patches. Actually, I should put that on my shoulder. That'd probably help a lot. Those sticky fucking patches that do the hot and cold, I guess. Katie, you should read it again. It's a good book. I like the idea of they're creating a society, right? Kids, without any influence from the outside world or how other people are already governed, create a government of their choosing. I love the idea of it, and I wonder what human beings, if they once again had the opportunity to create a government when they've never been exposed to one before, or they don't have any influence over from any other governments. If you had no political understanding whatsoever, and you were forced to live on a deserted island where there's no influence from the outside world, how would you form this space, this community, to make it as safe for as many people as possible? Is that what your goal is? Or like, how would you do it? Would it be like that? And I like the idea of what they did with the kids, so. Why not slabs in the winter? Um, because first of all, like if I wanted to do my VA stuff in slabs, I would have to go. It's like 45 minutes, maybe an hour to get to the VA, which is a little clinic, and then about 2 hours to get to San Diego, which is where the VA hospital is. And some things that you can get done in the clinic, some things you can't. You'd have to go to the hospital for, but mainly because I've been going to slabs now for 10 years, and it's taken, the last couple of years took a lot out of me. Man, it took a lot out of, it took a lot out of me. And I would like to see other things in the winter besides just slabs. I used to only go to slabs. When I first started going there, I stayed, my first summer, and then I would only go there for like a couple of months, and then I would leave. But as the years went by, I would stay longer and longer because no one's telling me to leave. It's safe there, it's comfortable. I got friends, and when you're traveling, it's not you're usually traveling nomad style alone. Like if you see us when we're not in slabs, we're usually alone. In any case, I want to see other things in the winter. And there's a lot of desert out there to go check out. I want to go down to Baja in Mexico and do the Baja trip. There's a lot of things I want to see that aren't in slabs, and there's less drama, and like there's a lot of this last 2 years just took a lot out of me, and I need a break for a little bit, but I also need to take care of my VA stuff, so. You're studying moral development for school right now, and it's interesting. Yeah. Society building. Like humans have done it for so long now, and there's no way that there's no influence from, like, especially today when communication it's instant. Look what we're doing right here. I'm reaching out to people from all over the country, all over the world, and it's immediate. We could exchange ideas and information without any limits to how we do that. We have the technology. In any case, if you didn't have that and you were all alone with a group of people and you didn't know how societies had been built in the past, you just know it worked because you didn't, maybe you were a kid or you didn't understand or you never looked into it. How would you do it? What would you do? Like, I will never know because I've already been influenced, by the way that we formed our government and the way it functions, which I think is a complete travesty for the most part. Like, the way that we form our government, the way we formed our government was kind of a travesty, but kind of beautiful. Tucked into that document that they made to form our government was the way for the people that they were oppressing. They were oppressing Native Americans. They were oppressing people of color. They were oppressing Irish folks and Italian folks. But into that document, they put that all men are created equal. And they did that on purpose, I think, because they knew what they were doing. I think that they knew deep down that all these human beings deserved the same rights as everyone else. So they put into that document the way to destroy their own way of life to make way for a new way of life. The way we formed our government was beautiful and a travesty, but the way that it has become today is a complete mess. It's a complete fucking mess. Like, I don't get me started because I will rant for 2 hours, but I just am so disappointed at what's happened in worldwide too. It's not even just our country, but our country is the one that has influenced me the most. I joined the VFW years ago. The old timers didn't like us Vietnam vets. They said we weren't in a real war. Called us baby killers. The list goes on. All quit five after a couple of years. Jim, I have been called a baby killer once. And it took a couple of my friends at the bar that day to stop me from hurting this dude. Actually, they yanked me out of the bar. But nothing like that. Only once by some hippie in a bar. but never like the Vietnam veterans had it. I had people shaking my hand when I came home and cheering us on as we got off the plane. Um, I, didn't have the welcome home. I didn't have paint thrown at me or anything like that. Um, like I'm glad that the culture has changed, and it's the Vietnam veterans that paved the way for my generation to not get treated the same way. Um, it is what it is, Like I don't know if any. I think our country does one of the best in the world as far as appreciating our veterans. Like, we have more people that will say thank you for your service to a veteran in America than you will find in pretty much any Western world country. The Brits are blown away by it when they see it, and so. I get it. 10 months of rain this winter. Go further south for sure. Not a fan of quartzsite long term. I am not a fan of quartzsite long term. I'm just not. I'm so bored. A month in quartzsite is enough for me, man. Like, it's not that pretty, honestly. There's no water. Most of the people there are much, much older than me. Like, my age group isn't there. And it can be a good time if you got money to spend because the entire town turns into a little flea market. Like, the entire town is, one giant flea market. So you can find cool stuff and cool trinkets, and usually for affordable prices. But for long term, nah, dude, I'm bored. I am so absolutely bored in Quartzsite. There's some cool events that happen. I don't mind going to those, Schoolie Palooza and whatnot. But yeah, I'm not doing Quartzsite either. There's plenty of other places. Like even Lake Havasu would be better because there's water right there, or right just which is just north of Quartzsite, or Laughlin and Bullhead City. They got water right there. At least you're on the water. Um, yeah, Quartzsite's not for me anymore. Yeah, Crystal VFW is all about drinking. All I've ever seen. They do events too, and they do funerals, and they will do they have some nonprofit monies that they help people out with, but it's also like kind of the good old boy system, and it's definitely for drinking. That's where they're making their money. That part of the VFW is not a nonprofit; it's a bar. So I don't see the appeal, especially when I can't like go there to meet anybody that's not a veteran, unless it's a veteran's wife or something. Like I don't want to just hang out with veterans. I don't want to ostracize myself from my community, and I want to be intermingled with my community. I want to be part of my community, and I get the camaraderie that veterans all have, And we can have a veteran-centered bar if you wanted to, but don't like exclude the very people that we served for from it. Our Vietnam vets get good treatment here in Prescott. That's cool. Yeah, a lot of Vietnam veterans, man. VFW is still a good place to go here. That's cool. Some of my patches and pics are on the wall there. Don't do Mexico, Parker's cool. Why won't you do Mexico? Kingsman Wash is a nice little area. I know that spot. Nemo made it to Amsterdam. Fuck yeah, dude. Travel on Nemo. Fox's Floating Bar back in the day in Parker. I don't know if it's still there. But I do know where Parker's at. Oh, your VFW serves everyone. So there are some VFWs out there and American Legions who are open to the public. Most of them are very rural because they wouldn't stay alive if they weren't open to the public. There wouldn't be enough customers because there's not enough veterans in the community. But I do know that is something that happens. Some of the VFWs and American Legions are open to the public. Courtside is crazy crowded. Yeah, especially December, January, and good luck using your cell phone during that time too. It's useless. Because there's so many people in the tower, your phone doesn't work. People are all in a bad mood. I've seen the most like aggravated people at a gas station because the gas station's so busy, and it will take you an hour to get gas in Quartzsite in January. Good luck. It seems like for my generation, you're not gonna find too many van life meetups except for maybe Schoolie Palooza. I would like to see more that are centered around millennials or Gen Xers or younger, but the like Rubber Tramp Rendezvous is literally just all the retirees in the community who want to meet up. And that's fine, I get it, but they're not very pleasant to the rest of us that are younger doing this because, I've been judged so many times. One lady was like, you know, what do you do for a living? Because I had my big RV and I was at an RV park in Quartzsite. And I was like, I'm retired. Oh, you're too young to be retired. And I was like, why? And it just blew her away. That, that's even possible. Like, why am I too young to be retired? Retirement has nothing to do with age. Yeah, Cole, small town, Iowa. That's what I thought. What's up, Hebrew operator? Is that what that says? Okay. God, I really do need glasses. It's fucking. I hear you retired at 54. I would say I'm semi-retired because I don't have enough money to survive in Babylon. I don't have enough money to get an apartment or anything like that. But I would say I'm retired. I do get a check every month. It is, barely enough to scrape by, but I do get one. And speaking of monthly checks, let me ask you guys, since I got 35 folks in here right now, and a lot of you guys are my regulars, some of you are new. How many of you would pay $5-10 a month because YouTube has that join thing, like the monthly subscription that you can help out your favorite YouTubers? And I've never set it up. I've had a few people say I should. I've had a few people say leave it as is. And I don't know what I'm going to do yet. How many of you would just dedicate $5 or $10 a month to that subscription for my channel? And what that might give you is I might do, if there's enough of you, some exclusive live streams or some exclusive fucking shorts or some short content that you guys would only have access to. And I know some people will do it through YouTube and some people will do it through Patreon. Patreon would be the best solution because they take less of a cut, whereas YouTube takes 30%. So I don't know which one to do. I've never messed with either of these systems, so I don't really know how to go about it. It's completely new to me. That's why that's another reason I haven't done it, is because I don't want to set something up and have it not work and have it be a mess. But in any case, I'm sure I can figure it out. I'm no dummy. But how many of you would? Crystal says that of course you guys would. I love you guys. Carol, you ought to be able to raise your disability percentage. Carol, that's exactly what I need to do. That's when I talk about I need to take care of my VA stuff, I'm specifically talking about getting my disability raised because where I'm sitting at is at 50%, and I feel I should be higher. When I compare the things that I went through to some other people that I know who I served with who got higher ratings than me, it's a bit frustrating. And I don't think that they don't deserve those ratings. I'm not here to discredit them whatsoever, but our experiences were so different. Some of them never even left the base. In my job, I was lead vehicle in a convoy with mine rollers on the front of my truck, and my job was to drive over everything that looks like a bomb, and it was sometimes a bomb. So whereas other people got a much higher rating, and they didn't ever leave the base. They were reading what was happening to me on a computer and got a higher rating. It's kind of bullshit. But nevertheless, that's what I got. And I don't know how, I have to stay put somewhere to get the rating raised. And because they have to do evaluations and I have to basically be getting treatment for it in order to get the higher rating. They'll have to see continued treatment. So if I was to be getting treatment for it for, 4 to 6 months, and then I requested a higher rating, I think I would get it. Yeah, that stressed me out even talking about it. Yeah, get with a VSO. That's true. That's exactly what I need to do. I need to get with a VSO. But the problem is I have gotten with VSOs before. 2 problems. One, the VSOs I've found have been trash. I've given them my medical documents and they've lost them. This is my medical stuff. And they haven't done, they've missed appointments, haven't been in the office when we had scheduled appointments, wouldn't return phone calls. In any case, I haven't found a good VSO. So, someone in Southern California won the $1 billion Powerball. I wish it was you. Me too. That would have been cool. I didn't even buy a Powerball ticket, man. I don't have $1 or $3 for that. But yeah, that would. I was hoping it would be me too. Maybe I'll find it, on the ground somewhere. As a store owner, he needs to join the DAB. They will start the ball rolling. Yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna end up doing. Wherever I end up landing to do this, Jim, is probably gonna be the DAB that I use. I'm really leaning towards Vegas, but there is some strong influences pulling me to the East Coast, to like northern Florida, which is my second choice for this, not my first. Process sounds like a full-time job. Yeah, it 100% is a full-time job, Katie. Not just doing it, but it's also learning how to do it. That becomes a full-time job. That's why I need to sit down with what's called a VSO, the Veteran Service Officer. It is their full-time job. That is what they do. They do the paperwork for you. They are experts. But oftentimes they are dealing with a big community with a bunch of veterans on their caseload, and they're overworked and underfunded because they're wherever they're getting their funding from is probably some sort of grant from the government, so they don't get a whole lot. In any case, they're only one person, two people. I've seen a VSO in a place like Nevada have 3 people in the office for the entire area that they serve, which is millions of people. And it's it is what it is. So finding a good VSO has been the struggle I've had, and I'll tell you right now that Imperial County VSOs and VFW are absolute garbage. If you're in slabs and you're trying to get services through them, you're gonna just be. I've had very bad experiences with them. So there are good VSOs and so-so ones, and then there's bad ones, and that's my experience at Imperial County. So. Oh, God, my back hurts, man. I'm old. Oh, it's right there, right there. Hmm. Yeah, thanks for your service, Jim, and welcome home. They didn't get the welcome home part. That's what I like saying to the Vietnam guys. Not thank you for your service. That's cool, that's respect given, but the welcome home part is what you guys didn't get. And that's what you deserved. Because war is hell, and you're coming home from hell. You shouldn't have been walking back into hell. Most of the Vietnam vets didn't even fucking get the choice, too. Like, at least my generation, we volunteered, like, it was all volunteer service. My generation, we didn't get drafted. A lot of Vietnam vets didn't have a choice. It was either like go to jail, run to Canada, or go to war. And, given that choice today, knowing what I know now, I don't think I would go back. I don't think I would go to war. My younger self probably would have, obviously. I might have been less likely to if somebody was telling me I had to. Actually, I'm kind of rebellious by nature, which I had to put that on the back burner for, as much as I could. While I served, while I was in the Army. But, sometimes I lashed out. Sometimes I was a shithead and rebellious. That's why Jim hates Ted Nugent. Because he was a deserter, or because he hopped the border? I mean, can you blame them? Honestly, I think the draft is a tragedy, If a government needs to force its people to defend the country, then they shouldn't have the country. Like they shouldn't have it. If you have to force your people to defend you, your people, if you had a government that was worth defending and your people loved your country like they should, then they would volunteer. They would step up. You wouldn't need the draft, or you wouldn't be starting fucking calling you. Oh. In any case, yeah, I don't think I'll ever agree with the government forcing people to go to war. You know, it was little one when he went to Vietnam. Yeah, it's always not always, but it's kids, man. Kids are going to war. That's who they asked to go to war. Children. Depends on what you're fighting for. Yeah, exactly. Like 9/11 was a big deal to me. It influenced my life quite a bit. And, that had a lot to do with why I joined. We were attacked. Pearl Harbor, we were attacked, and then they picked all these small skirmishes and then drafted people for them. And they drafted them and then they said, no, wait, but it wasn't a real war, so you don't get all the stuff that you would get if it was. Even though we forced you to go to war, you're not, it was a policing action. So you don't qualify for the VA benefits. And, you're going to force somebody to go to war and then tell them that they don't get the benefits that is supposed to come with that when you survive, when you survive hell. The war I went to was like fucking pussyfoot shit compared to what Vietnam was. And, I gotta admit, my war was, there was violent moments, but nothing like what Vietnam vets went through. We have so much technology now to keep soldiers safe and to make soldiers deadly. And like the soldier today is much deadlier and safer than they were 40 years ago in Vietnam. They didn't have flak jackets were kind of a brand new thing in that time. They were still wearing like just cloth shirts going to war. Like, they don't even have armor, dude. And what armor they did have would have stopped a 9mm, but it's not stopping no AK-47 rounds. So most of them didn't even wear it because it was the jungle and it was humid, it was hot, and they're not going to put this other fucking thing on that's not going to save their life anyways. So it would have just, caused you to have to drink more water and be heat casualty, plus being uncomfortable when you're already in combat. In any case, we are much safer today. So what Vietnam veterans went through compared to what I went through, like, it's all violent and it's all terrible. It all sucks. There's no winning or losing. It's just losing, man. And it's just violent and it's just tragic and it's just awful. But I'm very grateful for the combat that I experienced when I know what previous generations had gone through. I'm grateful for the experience that I had because relative to the generations that came before me, it was, kind of a breeze. And I don't want to minimize my own service either, or anyone else's who served in my generation, but we had it nice. I was number 57 in the draft. I don't know what that means. I don't know how the draft works, aside from I had to sign up for selective service. Keep taking more freedom every day. It said some gave all for the freedom. Husband lost all his medals to an ex who lost them in a storage unit repo. I wish he had them. He could care less. So, Carol, you know what you can do about that. I don't know if you have access to his DD-214. It's a government form. It'll just say DD-214. Department of Defense is what that stands for. And that's his discharge from active duty. And on his DD-214, his last one, will have a record of all of the awards, ribbons, and medals that he got. Because not all awards that you got were medals. Sometimes it's a badge. Whereas like my CID I have on my hat, it's a badge that you would wear above your medals. So sometimes that actually means more to me than any of my medals do. I'll be right back. Yeah, the neighbor made a little bit of noise. And Zag didn't like it. Oh, that's a bird. That's what it is. Your park had birds. Yeah, so it's 214, Carol. You can order. I know they're not going to be the original ribbons that he had, but you can order them. You can order the ribbons that he was awarded, and or medals. You know, the ribbons and the medals are the same thing. It's just different ways of displaying the same awards. The medal is the more dressier uniform, and then the ribbons is what you would wear in your normal inspection. Is there someone here? Hey, Sarah. I don't think so. I think we're both just hearing things. Oh, fuck. So tight and old and must have slept on it wrong. Feel bad for me, guys. Sad could lay on my sore neck. I wish she would do what cats do and do the kneading thing on it. That would be cool. But I don't even think she's strong enough to put a dent in this, honestly. I don't know what this needs. Like one muscle relaxer and a good night's sleep would, I think, take care of it, but I don't have that. I hold all my stress in my shoulders too, man. Like I can feel it right there in my shoulders most of the time. So that's the first part of my muscles that starts aching after I've been stressed out a lot. And this title thing has gotten me all stressed out. Yep, you can reorder his medals or his ribbons, which way you want to display them. They'll be the same. You know, one's just medals, and then they display this. The top of the medal will be what the ribbon looks like. So it's basically they cut the medal off of the ribbon, and there's your ribbon. In any case, the badges. If you've got that, you've got all of his stuff, and you'd be able to piece together even a whole dress uniform for him if you wanted to. So that would actually, honestly, like, if I was to start a nonprofit, my nonprofit would be to get dress uniforms to veterans. Because I wish I still had my dress uniform, so you're allowed to wear it still. You're allowed to wear it ceremoniously to weddings, funerals, things like that. I wish I still had mine. I wish I still had my dress uniform, my dress blues. But I don't, because the Army made me give them back. They didn't issue them to keep. They issued them to borrow, I guess. You could keep them if you wanted to spend thousands of dollars on what the Army would charge you for it, and a lot of people do. Oh, he won't do it? Yeah, some guys don't care. You know, they don't want to be reminded. Yeah, it's a tough one because it could like be not a good experience for him. So his ex lost every picture too. That sucks. Yeah, that's awful. Oh, that's worse than the medals. At least the medals, you can order ones that look like them. You can't order pictures that look like pictures. But you know what? I don't know if you've ever reached out on Facebook to any of the people in his unit, but you know, where they're kids, but maybe there are pictures out there floating around of him while he was overseas. Yeah, they can definitely be triggers. Yeah, that's true. Personally, for me, I think that would be cool for the dress uniform. God, I gotta lean back. I gotta lean back. I'm too young to feel this old. I'm becoming a country song. Like I'm literally becoming a country song. Yeah, lots of Facebook group for vets. He could post his unit, um, and the years he was overseas to find out if any of those guys have, his pictures or anything of that unit. You have your military stuff, and then your dad's from World War II. That's cool. Yeah, I know there's a song. That's why I said I'm becoming a country song. Yeah, me too, Roche. I miss my dress blues. I've looked into ordering them before with my awards on there and everything, and it's expensive. I might be able to find used ones at like some surplus store and then piece it together myself. But having it brand new and sharp and all ranged and sewn on everywhere it's supposed to be, that would be cool. And then I would love to wear it to weddings or funerals. Um, that would be freaking cool. Write it. You might become rich. But write what? What do you mean? What am I writing? Remind me what I was talking about. Ooh, you guys hear that pop? That was my ankle. That felt so good. Oh, that felt so good. Way better than what my neck feels. Oh, that country song. Oh, it's already written. I'm way too young to feel this old is totally a country song. It's already written. I forget who sings it, but I've definitely heard that. So I have my dad's flag too, and oh man, and his ashes as well. The song "Private Malone" really got to me. Yeah, that was a good song. It was like Garth Brooks. I'm way too young to feel this old. That makes sense. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get my pipe. So at the beginning of this month, I found a dispensary in the area that had $5 joints. Um, and I have not found that dispensary again. I don't even know what town it was in, but I wish I could because that was a really good deal for the size of the joints. They were like 1.3 grams, and I think they were rolled in house. That's why they were so cheap. But I can't find that dispensary. I haven't found it anywhere again. I'm an old rock and roll girl, don't know many country songs. I know some rock and roll too. But my dad, man, he raised me on country, old 90s country. Yes, that's old, by the way. But yeah, old 90s country. Good song, They Tried Killing the Rooster. If anyone has a tens until they should send it to Zig. Hey, thanks, Carol. Yeah, if anyone wants, you got 5 on it, you got 10 on it. My links are in the description of this video. So just Cashapp, PayPal, Venmo. I got Zelle too if you want to go that route, but I'm not going to give my phone number out on here. I wonder if I could do it just through my email. Maybe I should do that. Carol McNally. I don't know if I know that. We're like a free TENS unit. They have them from the military. What's a TENS unit? And if you don't have it, that's cool, you guys. If you don't have a 10 to throw on it, you know what you can do for me? Is you can go to my channel and find your favorite video and hit share and share it to your social media. That would be helpful too. 100%. Dude, you'd probably benefit from one. From what? What would I benefit? Gee, let me see what you're... Benefit from what? Electrics did. Oh, is that where they it like massages your muscle by shooting fucking electricity into it, like zaps you? Remember when they used to think that you remember when they used to think that they would zap your abs and you would get like a six pack because you were like in your muscles? And people would buy these things just to shock the shit out of their bellies. Yeah, maybe I will try one of those. Yeah, this sucks actually. I feel terrible. Like it's not a great feeling. You know, I'm sure everyone in here knows what it's like to not be able to like turn the right way. I don't even know how this happened. I was like digging up some bricks because there's this brick pathway that I was digging up because he wants all the bricks out of the yard, and you know it was fine after that. And I think I pulled it digging everything out of my van to search for my title, to be honest with you. It really works. Yeah, I'm sure it does. It doesn't work for a six pack, but I'm sure it helps like massage your muscles. I'm not getting no six pack zapping my belly. Wish I could, man. I wish it was that easy. It worked for a lunatic who sold those toning machines and she ran away to China to avoid criminal charges. That's awesome. The six pack zap is ridiculous. This isn't like that. Thank God. I don't want to like just put it on this side and end up with like a giant muscle from having a muscle strain and zapping it into like, and then this side's not. It's all like small and like pathetic, like I am now. TENS is legit. I've never even heard of this thing. It reprograms the muscle. What does that mean? How is it programmed now? Is it like reformat the hard drive in there? I'm so confused. Those Thigh Master commercials. Yeah, I do remember those too. Notre Dame. Are you trying to say Notre Dame? Heard there was a hunchback there. I've had a TENS unit many times in PT. It's like a free boom boom long time. What the fuck is that? Bad road cut from riding many years. You know what injury has actually been bothering me more than my shoulder? Like my shoulder sucks right now, but I know it'll go away. I have wrist issues. Like have been having like the last couple of years, my wrists have been getting pretty bad, and I don't know if that's from like push-ups back in the day, or what it's from, but yeah, they're fucked, man. Like they're getting worse and worse too. The shake weight. I do remember the shake weight. There's a whole South Park episode about the shake weight. I don't know if you guys remember that, but if any of you have seen it, yeah, the shake weight in the South Park episode though, you would shake it and then it would shoot water at you when your workout's over, and then go into sleep mode. So funny. Yeah, I know the Vietnam. I know what boom boom long time is, but I don't think that a muscle electrocute or thing is gonna be that. I'm not putting it there. Shake weight. That South Park episode was golden. You could probably just look on YouTube for the clips of the shake weight South Park. It's so funny. Wearing a wrist brace now helps the rotor cuff pain. Yeah, maybe I should get a wrist brace. My left one's worse than my right, but my right one sucks too. Remember those electric shake belts? Yes, I do. Oh man, you guys are great. Where it would just like vibrate you, and then you'd find, oh man, that's good stuff. The stuff we used to think like, how do we get like healthy without trying to be healthy? We never figured it out, so we just decided to be a fat culture. You were just talking about that yesterday, Crystal. Yeah, exactly, Mike. The people will do anything to cut corners 100%. Like they had those fat burning pills in the store. Like anything that you could, like, how do I look good without trying? And yeah. It would be nice though. Like one day we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure out. I promise you, we're gonna figure out how to just be fit by taking a pill or once a year injection or some dumb shit like that, where you just stay ripped all the time. Like everyone's just gonna be gorgeous, as long as you can afford it. South Park is funny as hell sometimes, especially if you're smoking. You got a carpal tunnel in the wrist. I got a brace for that. No quick cures though. I had no idea. I've never actually been diagnosed with. I haven't been to the doctor aside from emergency visits in quite a while. Not for anything besides my heart, but like I haven't gone for anything else. But I should. That's one of the things I got to go work out when I get the VA stuff squared away. Can't watch 80s workout videos without laughing till I have pills going down my legs. Yeah. Pills, okay. Pills. Gifted my glass pipe to a friend and dropped my stone pipe, broke off tip of the mouthpiece. Dude, it's time to get a new pipe, bro. It's a sign. It's a sign to get a new one, start over. Shed the old stuff. Shed that negative resin. Yeah, we were supposed to have flying cars. Even when I was growing up, we were supposed to have flying cars by now. Like I should have learned how to drive a flying car in high school. But I didn't even get to teach my kid how to drive a flying car, and I think that's a failure of the future. There's some stuff in the future that's pretty cool though. Now AI is the new Y2K 2012. Dude, I don't have a problem with AI at all. Like the cat's, first of all, the cat's out of the bag. It's not getting stuff back in. Like AI is here to stay. The only difference that we have between AI today and what everyone's freaking out about, the AI that's existed before, is the language model. Now the AI can speak to us. We can interact with it. Instead of programming it to do specific things and letting it do it. It's not like, the way the AI works is they downloaded the entire internet. Imagine that everything that human beings have done on the internet, that it had instant access to, and it also has the language model attached to that. So not only can it access it, but it can speak to us, right? And it's not exactly speaking. It's not what you think it is. It's not actually forming thoughts. What it's doing is, since it's read the entirety of the internet, when you ask it a question, it predicts what it should say based on what the internet says. So it predicts the first word and then the second word and then the third word. Sometimes it'll get a little loopy. It'll say some stuff that doesn't make any damn sense at all because, that's just how the prediction model went. But usually it's pretty accurate. And it's doing that, accessing all of the information from the internet. They've indexed the internet, meaning they've searched it and saved it onto a hard drive and then gave it a brain, turned it into a brain, basically. And that's what AI is. It doesn't actually have thoughts of its own. It's not, it doesn't have any internal dialogue like we have. It's not what you think it is. But it is out of the bag and it's not going anywhere. And as it develops, who knows where it'll take us. Dude, it could maybe discover the cure for cancer. Maybe it'll save people's lives or figure out better ways of doing astronomical research. Let me scroll up and figure out we got tears going down your legs. That makes more sense. Why own 6 bongs for expense? Oh, yeah, that's a fair point. I only have this, man. Dude, me either. I should see a doctor, but hey, mind over matter and nobody cares. Keeps me going. Just Back to the Future again. I should rewatch that movie. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. Hot Nail and a Honey Badger. Yeah, carpal tunnel might be what it is. I'm not sure. Carpet tunnel. Are you using fentanyl or other painkillers? No, I don't. Hard pass, dude. We already have had AI for years. We're just privy to it now. Exactly. AI has been around for a while. It's articulating based on your own patterns. Do this with 0 wires, see you through walls. Okay. Have I seen the movie Ex Machina? Yeah, I have. That's an older one too, isn't it? Using your Wi-Fi sound waves. Well, I mean, you can program it to do these things, but when I interact with it with AI language models, it doesn't do any of that. That's not. You can. That's not what a language model does. Language model is just there to give you text. That's all it does. It just gives you text answers. It's actually like a pretty sophisticated search engine for the internet. In fact, if you go to Bing.com and go to their AI chat section, that is ChatGPT-4. And they've given exclusive access to ChatGPT-4 through the Bing chat thing. So you can ask it a question about like how to do something or anything. It's just like Google search, except it's not ad-based results. When you search on Google, it gives you ad-based results. When you search with ChatGPT or the Bing chat, it gives very different search results on the thing, and it's usually more and more accurate. It's not like it's actually being paid like Google is to show you the top 10, top 100. Here's the people who paid us the most. It's actually searching for the question that you had. So you can ask it a question and it'll be, oh yeah, here's how you do that. In fact, I had it write a few lines of code for me in a program I was building on Python for Linux. And I was like, yeah, I don't know how to do this. So hey, how do I write a program that does this? And it was like this. And then just copy and pasted what they did and it worked. So you can have it do all sorts of stuff for you. It's listening this char. I'm 100%. You guys, there's not just one AI. There's not like it's listening. There's definitely AI used in all of our software, all of it. When you run your debit card, there's AI that influences that exchange between your bank and that card. What's up, Tito? I'm in SoCal, bro. In Redondo. Yeah, if you guys are curious about a ChatGPT, go to Bing.com and go to their chat section and interact with it. Ask it questions. It's fun. Ask it whatever you want. Was Princess Diana murdered? Was Did we land on the moon? You know, whatever. It's not going to give you like absolute truths. If you needed to build you an Excel spreadsheet that does a specific thing, it'll do that for you too. It'll write you code for your, you know, if you're writing code, you can type in there, hey, I need to respond to this email. What should I say? And I want it to do this, and it'll do it. It's not suicide. That's silly. Literally, it doesn't have like there's AI isn't suicide. It can be used for nefarious reasons, just like nuclear energy isn't suicide, but it could be used for nefarious reasons. No, I'm not going to stay off AI. I love AI. I think it's great. I think it's such a great tool. And it's not, like I said, the cat's out of the bag. It's not going anywhere. I use AI all the time. I'm actually going to be putting AI into my van. So when I get into my van, like kit the car, I get to talk to my van and it'll talk to me. It's not gonna have access to like my engine or my steering or anything like that. But I will have a language model I can have a conversation with. So AI is pretty harmless and benign when it's really just a speaker talking to you. So yeah, I'm definitely installing that into my van. That would be cool. I just need actually a decent enough computer to run it, because if you were to install it on without using the internet, then you would have to have a self-enclosed AI box, basically. I mean, AI can be dangerous, but it's also not dangerous. Like, you guys are literally have never used it, so how do you know? Like, you've seen a lot of media that said it's dangerous, but as it exists today, it's definitely not dangerous. It can be used for nefarious things, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to use it for nefarious things. I'm going to have AI is going to get me. It's literally just a conversation with a computer, dude. I'll show you when I meet you. Yeah, it's live now. No one controls it. It's controlled beings and self-access to all of it. It controls being. It has taken over. This is becoming a South Park script, you guys, instead of real life. AI is a tool, 100%. You're telling me the same logic that people are saying that AI is dangerous is the same logic that they say guns are dangerous. They don't understand it, so they just say it's scary. And they have no absolute practical knowledge of guns whatsoever, but they say it's dangerous without any knowledge of it. The same thing's happening with AI, 100%. A gun is a tool, AI is a tool. Can I use AI for things that are bad? Yes. Can I use a gun for things that are bad? Yes. But AI is not as dangerous. It's the person using AI that's dangerous. You know, I don't blame a spoon on a fat person. I don't blame AI for being dangerous. If people use it for dangerous things, then yeah, that's the person's fault. But AI has no intentions. It's not autonomous. It's not self-aware. It doesn't have self-thought. It's not how it works. It's a computer program. It's literally artificial intelligence. AI uses you. Yes, they have influenced me. Do you see the strings they've attached to me to say all this? I don't blame the spoon for fat people. I don't blame the gun for gun violence, and I don't blame AI for people using it poorly. You can use AI for all sorts of stuff. In fact, here's the scary part. Here's where AI is actually kind of scary. You guys want me to tell you the actual things I'm worried about changing in our society because of AI? Picture and video evidence in court will not be admissible in the next 20 years. You will not be able to use it, because I could use AI to make this video of anyone doing anything. You're not going to know what to believe on social media. You're not going to know what is true and what's not unless you're there in person. Do new research. It's wireless. What are you talking about? You can give AI access to wireless signals 100%, but that doesn't give my AI in my van access to wireless signals. It won't have that. But you're using it right now, dude. Like, we're interacting using AI and wireless signals. There's nothing new about this technology, you guys. AI has been around for a long time. Like I said, the only thing that's different now is it's like got a language model. AI has been live for almost 10 years. 10 years it's been around. It's not new, you guys. There's nothing new about this technology. It's little rock. music. Yeah, but I don't blame the spoon for fat people, and I'm not gonna blame AI for how people might use it. It has no like intentions whatsoever. It's not like plotting against. It doesn't plot. It doesn't think. You put an input, it gives you an output, and then it stops. Nothing's happening because there has been no input. And then you put an input, and it gives you an output. And it gives you an output based on the indexed internet. It's not doing. You can use it. I can program it to do nefarious things. I'm not gonna. That would be. It's not AI that's the problem, you guys. But that's what I'm saying. You can use AI to make video and pictures, right? Now, it's not AI that makes these videos and pictures. It's a person asking AI to make videos and pictures. It doesn't do it all on its own. If it sat there just like a gun, it would just fucking sit there and do nothing. It wouldn't jump out and bite anybody. It would just sit there and wait for an input, just like a gun waits for someone to influence it. And then you tell it to do something and it goes and does it. Now it controls itself. What is it? There are so many different versions of AI. There's literally hundreds and hundreds of versions of AI. Which version are you talking about that controls itself? Because I don't know what you're talking about. There's ChatGPT, there's Dolly, there's all sorts of them, dude. Each one has their own coders, their own names, these guys that worked on these projects. So there's open source ones. You can see the code that writes the AI. You can see how it's written. Open source AI. So no, that's not true. There's not 3 worldwide. That's not true at all. So I don't know what tabloid you're getting your information from, bro, but you can go download open source information off of GitHub right now. Like the whole open source code. You can go download as many as you want. There's hundreds of them. Since it's open source, it means anyone can go in there, alter the code, and make it different. That makes there be hundreds of different versions of AI. Open source, the fact that there is open source AI proves that there's hundreds of sources of it. There's not 3 AIs. There's 3 that are basically funded by big corporations like ChatGPT. It was originally supposed to be open AI, open source AI. Open AI is their literal website, but it's not open source. It became closed source and proprietary when Bing got involved. So when you get these big corporations that get involved into AI, then yeah, they become proprietary. That's probably the 3 you're thinking about. Google has one called Bard that you've already been using and didn't know it. But yeah, it is what it is. I don't know which versions of AI everyone's so afraid of. You know, like you're saying that it does all these things, like it. That's like calling a gun it. Like it murdered a bunch of people, or it, like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. It doesn't. Let me catch up. I think the core of the argument is that, oh, it's an argument? I was just setting the record straight. Is that we live in a society full of dangerous and stupid people who could easily wreak havoc. Yeah, it's gonna be a cat and mouse game, dude, with AI. It really is. It's gonna be like this, just like it has been this whole time with cybersecurity. You know, they're gonna use AI to do something, we'll use AI to stop them. They'll use AI to do something, we'll use AI to figure out a way around it. It'll be a cat and mouse game, but it's still built on code. It's not like AI is physically going through the wire waves and inserting itself into other computers. You know, AI, you would see that download. AI is a huge file. You can't just upload, you know, terabytes of information, petabytes of information into someone's computer without them knowing. When AI is weaponized, that's the problem. It's already been weaponized. It's already happened. I quit looking for the effing cloud years ago. It's just there. Yeah, the cloud, dude. The cloud, it's just a hard drive, man. It's just, the cloud's just a hard drive that you can access from the internet. It uses what? You can't even tell me what it is. I don't even know what you're talking about. It is doing exactly, it. Which one? Which AI is doing all these things? Because there's not just one AI. You're not making, I don't know what you're talking about. Is this a serious top AI? Which AI? Which one is it that you're talking about? You keep saying it, but you're not telling me who's doing this. Like the subject of who you're talking about is just AI in general. Just like this, you think AI is just this one thing that I don't think only three AI private control in the world now. They develop their own AIs. Each of these companies develop their own AIs and they use their AI, how they see fit. It's proprietary. It's private sector. Artificial intelligence. So would I agree to any checks and balances in the interest of public safety? Yeah, 100%. Like if I'm using AI to write code I think that you guys might be confused about the capabilities of artificial intelligence. And this isn't coming from some tabloid, that I read. This is from practical use of AI. I've used AI. I didn't read about it. I've used it. And the capabilities of it aren't like what you think they are. I could ask it to write a code for a virus, and it would write me a code for a virus. I would copy and paste that into program building app, and then I would render it into an exe or something, and now I would have a virus. Which, if you were talking about checks and balances with AI, I'm not sure what you would do as far as like what checks and balances you would want to have, but it's already illegal for me to have a virus, to own a virus on a hard drive. That's already a crime, especially if I'm using it nefariously. That's a felony. Doing hacking stuff, unless you're doing white hat stuff, which means that you're like hired by a company to test, you have permission to do do penetration testing on their security, their cybersecurity. It's illegal. It's a felony if you don't have permission from the owners of the system. We already have laws in place to prevent the things that you can do with AI. So what checks and balances would you like to see? The only thing I'm worried about with AI, the one thing is that, like I said, pictures and videos not being admissible in court anymore is going to make your security cameras completely irrelevant. You couldn't use them in court to arrest somebody. You couldn't convict somebody with video evidence of them doing something wrong. You wouldn't be able to use it because you could also there's no way to prove that it wasn't artificial intelligence that made that video. It would cast a shadow of a doubt. Already, artificial intelligence is currently making videos. You can see commercials that they've made or whatever, and it doesn't look good. You can see things are a little off. They're not doing, you can tell it's not actual beings, and it's just messed up. Like they'll be drinking and almost like their mouths are twisted or the cup's not quite in the hand where it's supposed to be. It's just off. Everything's off a little bit. It's not reality. But give it 20 years, and they'll get better. That technology will evolve. It's taking over Hollywood. That's 100% true. That is actually true. They're using AI to write a script. They're using AI, and they've tested it with commercials. They made AI built video commercials before that look awful, like beer commercials or whatever, where it's like looked over all the beer commercials in history and it's built a beer commercial for a product. And you could actually do that from your living room. You could sit at home and use AI to let's say you're inventing a company. You founded a company and you have AI as a tool that you could use to make your company better. Well, you want to do some advertising. So do you go out and you spend $15,000, $20,000 to have someone film a commercial for you, sometimes much more than that. Commercials can cost millions of dollars. So do you spend thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of dollars to make a commercial for you? You get on a computer and you go, hey, AI, I would like to have a commercial built for my business. And I want it to feature these products, and I want it to look like we're installing it, because let's say I build decks. I want it to make it look like I am installing it, video of me doing it, and I want it to be professional and maybe a little bit funny, crack a joke in there somewhere. And it just makes you the most incredible commercial. And it costed you nothing but a little bit of your time typing in the input that you put into AI, hey, do this for me. And it just makes you a commercial. You just save so much money for your business. You use this tool to excel your life and make more money. You don't have, that is true. It is taking over Hollywood. It's taking over, eventually you're going to see AI YouTubers. You're going to see YouTubers that are completely AI. They're not going to be real anymore, but people will watch them. It'll be fascinating and new, and people will watch this AI YouTuber sit there and interact with the comments and stuff. You're too paranoid for a Google house. Actually, that's what I want to do to the van, is turn it into a smart house. I'm not going to use Google Home. I don't actually, what I don't like about the proprietary stuff is that they just track everything. They've been doing that since before AI. My problem isn't AI, it's what they use it for, is to track you, and then AI just injects ads and stuff. 20 years ago, there's no YouTube. It definitely wasn't very popular. Yeah, I think it was around, but I don't think it was very popular yet. They weren't making, like, the creators wasn't a thing. YouTube was just like popular videos. They weren't paying early days, they weren't paying very much to the creators. Now they pay all right. But AI is going to replace, like, bookkeepers. It's going to replace, it's going to actually automate a lot of jobs. Things that you would, it's not even going to replace them. What it's going to do is going to give access to it for companies that wouldn't be able to afford these things because they're small companies. You can't afford a bookkeeper? Go get an AI. It'll do it for you. You can't afford to, have the timesheets programmed and everything so it's all fair. We'll have an AI do it. HR, a lot of that can be one person in HR instead of 5, and they're using AI. Like, that's another danger that we're going to have, automation. But automation's always replaced jobs. There's nothing new about that. What it will do is it'll transform the jobs that exist. Some jobs are going to require you to have some AI experience. They're going to want you to have that experience because that's a tool that company's using to save money. And if you can get more done with less, like, that's called efficiency. And I'm all for efficiency. But yeah, it can be used for nefarious things. 100%. 20 years ago, they had brick-sized cell phones. Dude, I remember my Nokia. Show on TV used the mass sign to check entire population. Yeah, it does this now. Show on TV used the machine. Oh, the machine to track. AI does this now. Yeah, AI's been doing that for a long time. Yeah, they've been tracking what we've been doing online that's nothing new. There's nothing new about that. That's since the internet was created, they've been doing that. No, 80s had briefcase cell phones. Yeah, and the car phones. My grandmother had a car phone in the car, and it was attached to the vehicle. Whole ass another number for it. Yeah, good old car phone. I had the shoebox phone in the 80s. Yeah, there was that little briefcase one that it came out the top, right under the strap. That was a little before my time, and even we weren't rich enough to be having a mobile phone back then. That still had the cord attached to that big briefcase box. And then they did have those skinny long ones that had the 2 edges and long ass antenna. Those looked ridiculous. And they were so expensive. You know what I am old enough for though? Is a Nokia, the brick. They had that Snake on them, dude. You could play Snake on brick. And then I had a pager. That's what I was gonna say. A pager. I had a pager when I was in high school because my dad wanted to be able to get a hold of me. If whatever, he bought me a pager. Yeah, those were good times. Now, most kids don't even know what a pager is. Damn, I did 2 hours already. The original flip phone? What was the original flip phone? Was it the Razor? Was that the first one? I had a Razor. Yeah, I had a Razor, the Razor cell phone. I don't know if that was the first flip phone, but I did have one, a flip phone. And it had the screen on the outside, and then it would open up. And then it had, when you closed it, it still had that smaller screen on there. Yeah, I had a BlackBerry when I was in the Army. The recruiters gave us a BlackBerry. And then the Motorola's were the first ones that had the push to talk phone numbers, which honestly, they should have never gotten rid of that. That shit was pretty cool. Hello, Moto. Somebody asked me if I did fentanyl earlier. Dude, I wouldn't be in so much pain if I was on fucking painkillers. I don't really like painkillers that much. The VA used to give us bucketfuls of them, dude. Like, just so many fucking painkillers. And I bet you I could go get some if I really wanted to, because you know, I got aches and shit. What's up, Ketone? But I don't really care for painkillers that much. You know, it's not really my drug of choice. I like downers. Like, I like my weed to be chill, but not that chill, dude. I don't like that kind of downer. Like a muscle relaxer is actually, I would take that before I took an opiate. I don't know if I have a high pain tolerance or not. I don't think I do because I feel like I'm aching all the time. But I do know that I would, like, even during my heart attacks, they were like, "Do you want meds?" And I'm like, "No, I'm good." My first heart attack, they didn't give me meds because I kept telling them no. But my second heart attack, they insisted that they gave me, I think it was morphine, because they wanted my like heart rate to go down and give me some, like, to relax me. And they were like, "Well, how about just a little bit?" And I'm like, "Okay, fine." And I just immediately was like, "Whoa." Like, and I think it was a little bit because it wasn't like I wasn't disoriented or anything. I just suddenly just felt chill. I'm in pain too, but no drugs. I just suffer. No, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not pill shaming anyone. If somebody out there, if it helps you, please just do it moderately. Use it as needed. I know sometimes it's more often than not. That's a tough one to get addicted to. I've seen people get addicted to it, and when they take it away, find a healthy way to get off of it. Like Xanax is another one, like barbiturates are another one that you got to be real careful with as you get yourself off of them. Is honestly, like, I think the solution for those kinds of drugs that are super dangerous like that and addicting is to do them not as needed, but don't do a daily regimen. Just not a daily regimen. You know, just the super, super bad days. And that's going to take, like, for me, I just don't have an addictive personality, so it's not for stuff like that. I know some people just can't help that dopamine hit that they get. It's just nature. Human beings have access to as much dopamine as we want, and we're not supposed to have that. As creatures that evolved from the wild, we wouldn't have access to dopamine like we do today. So, you know, it's really just nature coming in and being like, "Oh, you have access to all this dopamine. Here's how you just take it by doing drugs or something." And I just didn't get that for those drugs. I didn't get it for those. You know, Xanax had me for a minute, and drinking had me for a minute. But now it's just my weed, man. Yeah, painkillers should only be for pain. And the only problem with that, you're right, Roche, but the only problem with that is that um, some people are in pain every day and it creates addiction. Like, alcohol is a painkiller too. Should we be drinking alcohol every day for a painkiller? You know, it's just not that simple. It's not as simple. I'm in pain every day. Um, you know, so it'd be real easy, especially with how easy it is to access painkillers for me through the VA, is that it would be easy for me to become addicted. My brother took pain meds, rest in peace, when I was banged up, staples my head. They gave me a higher tolerance for pain, so I owe him that, I guess. I'm sorry, Jeannie. I have a good friend of mine who lost their brother to an overdose. Yeah, it's really fucking tough. Test your shit, man. Test your drugs. If you're gonna do them, like, people are gonna do drugs. I don't care what drug it is. If you're licking toads or shooting stuff into your blood veins, or if you're snorting it, whatever it's gonna get you high, people are gonna do it. Like, it's just human nature. So test your shit. do it safely. Like harm prevention. I don't care about you being a criminal. That's not me. What I do care about is you having a safe access to it, and having less of our fucking family members dying, and our cousins and brothers and sisters and friends. Like that's really what matters. Like I don't want us dying over this shit. And we wouldn't have these hardcore drugs if, the only reason opiates exist, you guys, is because we had opium, and opium was illegal, or was legal at one point, and then they made it illegal. So what they have to do, they had to bypass the opium law, and they made a synthetic opium that we now call opiates. And it's the way to like bypass the law. Opiates weren't illegal. Opium was, but opiates weren't. Same thing that happened with weed. They had the spice and the K2 and all that shit. Like they were legal for a minute because there was no law that said that these compounds put together in this form was illegal. They had to eventually make it illegal. But you used to be able to buy it in gas stations and shit. So we should be able to buy every drug should be access to it. If it's in a dispensary or if it's in a gas station, doesn't matter to me, but we shouldn't be going to criminalizing people who are doing like very normal behaviors. And they're not hurting anybody but themselves. Like nobody's gonna arrest me for putting McDonald's in my fucking body, but they'll arrest me if I put cocaine. If I have like a bump of cocaine, I'm gonna get in trouble. Like get the fuck out of here, dude. It's not healthy, but it's not a crime. It shouldn't be a crime. It's a victimless crime. You're not hurting anybody. Now, if you're going to like the neighbor's house and fucking stealing the change out of their car to go pay for your drugs, yeah, that's illegal. That's a crime. You're creating a victim. But if you're not a criminal, not in my eyes. But I hope you're doing it safely, and I hope that you're not going to die doing it. I'm not going to do it with you. Don't ask. I'm not a fan. But I'm also hoping that we don't end up hearing that you died because you didn't have safe access to it and you got robbed or shot or something. Or you overdosed because you didn't get what you actually thought you were getting because there's no way for you to test it. You didn't get tested in a lab. You couldn't afford a test kit. And you didn't know that you could go get Narcan for free, so you didn't have any of that on you. I don't know, man. I'm sorry, I could just rant about what the government did to the war on drugs. And I'm pretty sure drugs won, you guys. It's time to end it. Stop criminalizing these people and get them fucking help. Maybe we'll have less deaths and less fentanyl. That was a long rant. Alright, you guys got me for 8 more minutes. And then I'm out of here. Like a herd of turtles. I think I lost most of you with AI, but that's okay. I feel how I feel. You're a counselor in San Diego for 6 years. That's cool. Find an addict and help them. We all need help at times in life. I don't know. Yeah, sometimes they don't want help though. Sometimes they're not ready yet. You can offer help. I think that's the best thing you can do is be non-judgmental. You don't have to approve of it. You can still say you don't approve, but treat them like a human. But be non-judgmental and offer help. That's what you can do if you actually want to help that loved one. I would really only do this for loved ones. Some of you can't because they've done too much, but let you down too many times. But society let us down too. These drugs exist because of what the government has done to us. So I've had 25 surgeries, and he did me a favor by sneaking my meds because I might not have had the pain tolerance I do today. Bless his heart. You're having a psychotic break and getting violent. What's for dinner tonight? Shit, that's a good question. I got some ground turkey. You judge me all you want, man. Don't get me wrong, I like my ground beef. But I think ground turkey is it's a better mouthfeel. The flavor's fine because I'm going to add my own flavors. I think I'm going to make tacos out of it. But I think that the ground turkey is more like tender. Less chewy, less chewy. It's more tender. So I'm going to make tacos out of ground turkey. I guess counter argument to public safety is that alcohol is all that and more. Yeah, alcohol is probably the worst drug out there. And I can go spend $40 to go get enough alcohol to kill myself at the gas station right now. I could be there in 5 minutes walking. And for $40, I can go get enough alcohol that I would kill myself tonight. with it. But nobody bats an eye that I would go buy all that much at once. Nobody cares. Now, could I go get weed and enough weed to kill me? No. No, can't do that. Are there other drugs I can get? I probably could if I tried real hard, but I have no idea where to get them from. But you know, if it's alcohol, it's cool. I could go down and get McDonald's and do that every day until it kills me, and you know, I wouldn't get arrested. I wouldn't get put in jail. So it's not a public safety thing. That's silly. That's not a good defense for the war on drugs. I think improving society. Yeah. Why do people do drugs? Who knows? You know, I don't know if we're gonna improve society, but I think that if you were to stop criminalizing it, you would have less people doing it, or at least less people destroying their lives doing it. You know, it wouldn't be such a stigma on it. Oh yeah, you did like. There's meth heads out there that have like multi-million-dollar homes and work really hard every single day and night and day and night and day because they're a functioning member of society that just happen to do meth a lot. You know, they don't have to be the dreads of society, but most of them are because we've criminalized it. You know, we've turned it into a criminal endeavor, and we find people with these mental health conditions and we put them in prison. You know, and they've never created a victim. That's not what prisons were supposed to be for. They weren't supposed to be for people who haven't created a victim. They were to protect society, you know. Take care, Crystal. Bye. Probably already missed you. Probably already gone. Just say KFC and then some finger looking good. He loves turkey. Actually, you know, I don't like Thanksgiving turkey as much, but I like ground turkey. Ground turkey's, I think, a better mouthfeel for like ground beef, ground turkey. Oh, there you are. Yeah, bye guys. Bye Jim. Bye Crystal. I'll see you guys when I get up there. I will be up there. Hey, thanks Jeannie. Thanks. I appreciate that donation. $20. That's awesome. God, I'm old, you guys. So old, I'm a country song. You know what? There is such like I feel like there's, and there always has been on my channel. I don't know if it's just my channel or if it's just the slab, you know, community or whatever. But it seems like there's a generational gap between myself and most of the followers I have. And each video it gives me metrics to who's following my channel and who's not. So I know there's a decent amount of you that are like, you know, the older Vietnam generation, and then there's some of you that are my age, not too many younger than me. But I appreciate that you guys, it's the older generation that's usually chilling with me on my live streams. When I look at the metrics for the stuff, it's, you know, I like interacting with y'all. You guys got me for 2 minutes, and I'm gonna go. Oh, I want to soak my back so bad, but I have no way of doing that. But I think I got one of them hot patches I'm gonna put on it because this sucks. No worries, I can crack off jokes and kick back, smoke here, eat my KFC. I like KFC, man. I like fried chicken. Fried chicken's dope. One of my first jobs was at Hardee's, Carl's Jr. Back then they used to make fried chicken, and yeah, I lived off that stuff for like the whole time I worked there. I don't know what was in their flour to make it really good or whatever, but I can make some pretty good fried chicken, homemade. Well, that's the end of the live stream. Thanks for joining me, guys. Dude, that was some good chats, though. Like, we talked AI, we talked traveling, talked a little bit about slabs and my pickup. Yeah, that was good stuff. Appreciate you guys being here. Thanks you guys so much for the donations. Everyone who donated, everyone who shares my videos, shares my channel. I am gonna go put a patch on my shoulder And then I'm gonna go make some turkey tacos. What do they call that? Turkey taco? Should be Tuesday. Whatever. I like my recipe that I use for them. My dad showed me this recipe, and it's kind of like nostalgic for me. Except he used beef. He was like a man's man, you know. He used beef, and then he used turkey. He would kind of look down on me, but he'd still eat it. But I'm gonna go do that, and I'll see you guys later. Miles and smiles, and as always.